You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Caleb Williams. Thursday night is, of course, the start of the NFL draft. The Chicago Bears are on the clock right now. Technically speaking, by the way, they could sign Caleb Williams at any point. They actually can do that. Now, that probably won't happen because the NFL is frowning on teams. There was a time when it has happened where they've proactively signed the number one overall pick if it was their clear-cut choice. They don't do that so much anymore because what they're hoping for is to keep the drama. And it's best to stay off X because the picks will be ruined if you're trying to watch the draft. So, Caleb Williams was on with the Pivot podcast, and that's Ryan Clark. And it's kind of funny because while I'm not the biggest Ryan Clark guy, Ryan Clark, he repeats this back to Caleb Williams. I think he's trying to give Caleb Williams an idea of exactly how entitled this sounds. But Caleb Williams was furious with Oklahoma when he got there because he wasn't going to start over Spencer Rattler, which is kind of strange because Rattler had just come off a very damn good season. There was no way Oklahoma was about to bench him at the beginning of the season. This was when Caleb first got there. All right, now a couple of people have said, well, maybe he's just a dog. No, I got to tell you, he comes across as very entitled in this video, somebody that's going to have a short fuse, somebody that I think is not going to handle adversity as far as like the mental adversity that he's going to face when he gets to the NFL. We know it's as much a mental game as it is physical. And he's going to have all kinds of shots taken at him, and people are going to be watching his actions. All of his actions, all right? And that's what they do to number one overall draft picks, or at least first-round draft picks. Don't believe me? Ryan Leaf. They were all over Ryan Leaf, and that was 25 years ago. So let's take a look at this. The ML Football posted this. This is by way of the Pivot. And I will tell you, NFL fans own Caleb Williams in the reaction from this. By the way, we're going to look at this too because a NFL head coach has come out and said, quote, it's a no-brainer. He would take Jayden Daniels over Caleb Williams. I don't know who that head coach is, but that is a current NFL head coach that evidently already has a franchise quarterback. But he calls it a no-brainer that Caleb Williams is not the best quarterback in this draft. Wow, it's unbelievable how different evaluations are from coach to coach. You got to wonder, if this is Kyle Shanahan, if this is Andy Reid, if it's a quarterback guru kind of coach, I would want to know who said this. Because if they have this view of Caleb Williams, that would be sort of, depending on who said it, that would concern me a lot if I was the Bears.
The most recent one was Oklahoma when I didn't start. That one was real tough for me because
when you made a decision to go to Oklahoma and Spencer Rattler was already there.
Yeah,
and that was just at the time when you made a decision to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Spencer Rattler was a projected first-round pick.
Yeah,
the next year.
Yeah,
you had to pivot because they decided to start the guy that was supposed to be a first-round pick that year. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Why'd you choose to go there?
Development.
So you thought that
I'd known that Lincoln was the best in the country.
So why did it hurt you though that the income?
Because I was the best in the country.
Explain that to me. You make a decision to go to the school that has a starter that's coming back, that's supposed to be a first-round pick.
I told many people before I went there, and there's a backstory to it also. I was so fired up. I told people before I went there that I was gonna I was going to start and play and beat him out. I thought I beat him out in spring, and he was projected #1 and all of that. So he started for 6 games, and so I prepared. I kept preparing. Lincoln told me, keep going. It's something that I didn't understand. Those 2 words I did not understand when he told me, because I wasn't asking him. I wasn't coming to him to beg for playing time. I never came to him. I came to him and asked him, how do I do it? How do I beat this dude out?
Okay, so we're just going to stop it there. But you can tell, and that's when I looked at the camera various times, Ryan Clark is trying to save him. And there's a look that Caleb Williams gives Ryan Clark where, and let's see if I can, that look right there, folks. Why does he look like he is visibly upset with Ryan Clark? Because, dude, Ryan Clark is trying to objectively point out, you went to Oklahoma where Spencer Rattler was the clear-cut dude. That was your decision. And you don't understand why I am asking you back in this way? Because Ryan Clark's trying to tell him, at least from what I can see, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what Ryan Clark is trying to do. But I'm going to tell you what I would be trying to tell him. Dude, that was your decision. You own it, not anybody else. And not only that, but the way you're saying it, it sounds bad right now. This does not make you look good because you own it. And NFL fans are going to point this out in the comments. So you left and went to USC with the same coach? It doesn't make any sense. You know? Good luck. There's a lot of people that are saying in the comments, this guy, he's going to be an entitled bust. Right here. He was so hurt that he followed the guy that didn't start him in the first place. Exactly. As a Bears fan, we will regret this bust over Marvin Harrison Jr. He unfortunately has a big ego, poor sportsmanship, and inflated stats against a conference that doesn't play defense. I can't argue with that at all. This guy points it out right here. Rattler was coming off a great 2020 season. You are never going to start as a true freshman over him, man. By midseason, Caleb took the job, and everybody knew he was better, and the rest is history. No need to be so petty about this. He looks bad. It's an optics situation. Dude's a crybaby. He's not going to last a minute in the league. Honestly, this dude is something else. Laughing emoji. Yeah. Absolutely. And by the way, some people are saying maybe Spencer should have kept the job. I know that's out there. I'm in Texas. That's not that far away. So he followed the coach that did it to him to another school. That makes zero sense. He's either lying about how upset he was or he's lying about how he really felt. Rattler owns this loser. The entitlement is hilarious. The Bears will regret not taking Marvin Harrison Jr. if they draft this guy. Yeah, boy, good luck. Bro wanted some attention. Laughed my ass off. That's also a concern. Because it's clear this guy's got ego and a lot of it. I've done a couple of videos where I'll just put in the thumbnail, egomaniac. He becomes more unlikable by the day. This guy's going to be a bust. Caleb Williams is a crybaby. He took the team from Spencer, who then had to leave. Then he left Oklahoma high and dry. Laugh out loud. Mad at your coach, you mean? Yeah, he went to USC with him. It's crazy. He was so extremely angry with the coach, then he followed him to USC. Right here, you see it. Exhausted. Can't stand to listen to him. Caleb Williams can say what he wants, but I can't get over how he wants a piece of the franchise as part of the deal. Yeah, look, guys, him and his bunch have tried to come off of that. That was real. He wanted a piece of the NFL franchise that drafted him. He's got diva written all over him. Sorry, not sold on him. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I have no clue about this good dude. I hope he's the biggest bust of all time. All this dude does is cry and complain. And this is what's interesting. Ryan looking at Caleb like, have you lost your mind? But he couldn't say it. Can't wait to see how big of a bust this crybaby is. Or going to be. I mean, honestly, this guy is totally right. Ryan Clark was looking at him like, have you lost your mind with what's coming out of your mouth right now? And I think Ryan Clark was more thinking, look, dude, you realize where you're about to go and what's about to go down? And this is what you think? So let's go over to this CBS Sports article real fast. One NFL coach who doesn't need a quarterback wouldn't take Caleb Williams first overall. This coach wouldn't take, by the way, just to be fair, he wouldn't take Drake May either. He would go with LSU, and this is the guy I keep saying is my guy coming out. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. He would go with LSU fifth-year quarterback Jayden Daniels, the 2023 Heisman Trophy winner, over both Williams and May if he had a team had control over the first overall pick. Quote, it's a no-brainer. An anonymous head coach said per ESPN, Jayden looks like the best guy in the draft. I mean, I wanted to make sure I threw that in, but what does that tell you? And there's been other rumblings out there. Dan Orlovsky, not a Caleb Williams guy. Greg Cosell, I can't see the generational talent that everybody keeps talking about that they can see. I can't see it on film. The best guy that breaks down film in the history of football, Greg Cosell, can't see that. Merrill Hodge, one of the best draft guys out there, one of the best guys that breaks down film, anywhere around the NFL says no, he's not the guy. Wow. This is crazy. It's a terrible look for Caleb Williams. These interviews, he looks really bad. He looks entitled. And, this guy might be able to play physically, right? Have all the physical tools, this and that and the other. But when he doesn't get his way after about the fourth or fifth time, is this guy going to completely crack and just fracture and just fall apart? I don't know. Good luck, Chicago Bears, with this guy. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.